Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week for the ISV Society webinar with Yooz and Avalara as we dive into the 4 reasons to safeguard your business with cloud-based AP automation and sales tax compliance. My name is Amy Keenan. I am the founder of the ISV Society, and I'm excited to have you here. Before we get started, I would like to just go over a few housekeeping items. Yes, this webinar will be recorded and we will provide a link to it afterwards in an email. If you do have any questions, you'll notice there are some icons to your right. There is the double chat one. That is where you can put your questions to us and we will get to them at the end of the presentation. And there's also a lightning bolt. That's where the polls are. And I will be launching a poll, 2 polls throughout the webinar. So please make sure you participate in that. We'd love to get your feedback. And with that, I am going to get started and introduce our first presenter. He is going to cover pain points associated with manual processes. His name is Jeremy. And just want to give you a brief intro of Jeremy before he kicks things off. He is the account executive at Yooz and has been helping businesses become more efficient through strategic use of technologies, and has been with Yooz for almost 2 years. Prior to that, he spent 5 years in the technology space consulting. His biggest achievements are mentoring coworkers and speaking at the Dynamic Communities Conference on a panel discussion. When he's not working, he's a father of 4 wonderful kids. So am I, by the way, Jeremy. And in his spare time, enjoys gaming on Xbox and competing in Muay Thai fighting. That's pretty exciting. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to a great session.
All right. Well, take it away.
Awesome.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to launch the poll.
So I launched that poll,
and
I will begin.
Just launched the poll. So please make sure you take that poll on the right, everyone.
Well, welcome, everyone. Give you a brief introduction about Yooz. Yooz was born in the cloud in 2010. It was aimed directly at providing a powerful software as a service-based accounts payable automation solution that is practical and affordable to companies of any size. Yooz is a sister company of Idasoft, a traditionally on-premise software provider recognized for over 30 years as a leader in accounts payable automation. Yooz founders leveraged that 30 years of know-how and that seriously powerful OCR engine and brought accounts payable automation into the cloud. We have over 120 plus employees, and we're growing each month across the US and in Europe. Over 4,000 happy clients are using their documents every day. 200,000 users are globally processing millions and millions of documents every year in over 30 countries. Currently, we have over 100 clients from the automotive industry just in the US market, and it's growing. We're passionately committed to innovation and invest about 25% of our revenue back into our research and development. We sincerely feel our clients deserve the best that technology has to offer. So how we alleviate your pain points associated with manual processes. There's time-consuming and error-ridden manual data entry and inefficient processes. There's manual routing of invoices for approval, lost or missing invoices that you have to deal with. Majority of invoices received are in paper format, which is very unkempt, and the lack of visibility into outstanding liabilities that you have. So the most prominent challenges in AP are manual data entry, invoice to payment matching, lost and duplicate invoices, and the inconsistent organizational accounts payable process. Many of these challenges are frequently seen by those using a manual AP process or are exactly what software is designed to address. Inadequate or outdated technology is another big challenge, particularly for those using an ERP or homegrown tool. These challenges and those specific to more manual AP departments were only worsened by the pandemic. So each method comes with a set of advantages. and disadvantages. Paper is the most dated of options, as it entails the supplier sending the invoice via mail or fax, or both of these are slow down the process and makes dealing with errors difficult and tedious. Paper invoices are also the most costly of all the methods, and an accounts payable tool with optical character recognition, OCR, does a good job at imaging and digitalizing these invoices, but some labor is still required to scan the invoice into the system. Ideally, an organization should receive a few paper invoices as possible. Research has observed a paper invoice volume decrease over time across revenue segments, with paper once compromising nearly twice or as much as any of the SMEs volume in comparison to enterprise. So again, what you're dealing with paper is that time consuming, that error ridden manual data entry. It's really inefficient. So let's reap the benefits from automation. So AP automation is designed to solve those top three and more challenges for your accounts payable, invoice, and payment processes. Move the process to a centralized online platform accessible anytime, anywhere. Reduction in paper invoice volume and the elimination of filing cabinets full of bulky paper documents. You don't want to deal with that anymore. So it'd be quicker and more efficient approval of invoices. You're saving associated with early payments. You can start asking suppliers now. You can start giving up those times instead of having that 30 terms. You can shorten that time down and get those discounts from your suppliers. Improve visibility into unpaid invoices. Lower overall accounts payable costs. Your team can work on the go and access invoices anywhere on any type of device, whether it's a mobile phone or a tablet or your desktop. And you'll have increased employee productivity and satisfaction. So the right tool, accounts payable automation. So we're going to capture and store data securely, right? That ironclad security with instant visibility to replace fraud and reduce fraud and comply with regulations. We're also going to integrate with existing financial ERP systems, that connectivity with financial systems, the accounting packages for either your ERP or your DMS systems. That traceability and visibility into your invoices is real-time visibility in every step of the approval process, the document history, and the financial reporting. And the flexibility and ease of use. A fully customizable platform and workflows with the intuitive and easy to use user experience. All right, so Yooz automates your entire P2P process. In one powerful and easy to use platform, you can access anytime and anywhere, from purchase to payment, touchless or no touch process, flexible and customizable to fit your organizational needs, not the other way around. And it speeds up that AP vendor invoice approval process to hours, and it's drastically, right? It's super fast, super efficient. So if you have any questions about to use AP automation, we have answers. You can contact us at the email below. You can call the number or visit our website at www.getyooz.com. We're also on LinkedIn and Twitter as well.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy.
You're welcome.
Next up, I would like to introduce Desiree from Avalara. And before I forget, I'm going to launch the poll first. Oh, goodness. And then, so let me just introduce Desiree. Thank you so much for joining us today. She is a sales executive at Avalara, supporting the Sage community of clients together with partners. And Desiree helps manufacturing and distribution companies create tax compliant solutions, even if they don't charge retail sales tax. One thing I've always noticed is people think if they don't sell anything, they don't have sales tax, which we know is not the case, because I know firsthand. So you can dive into that as well. Welcome, Desiree.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me here today. I will say 4 kids, that's a lot to manage. I've only got 2, and I don't know how you guys do it. So I didn't quite put any personal information in there, but I do have 2 children as well that are quite crazy, 2 boys. As Amy said, you can go ahead and go to the next slide if you'd like, Amy. Today, we're going to sit here and talk about tax compliance, the sales and use tax compliance needs that you guys may have. Tax compliance is forever changing and one of the most confusing components to owning a business. So first, let's talk about the cost of compliance if you aren't using an automated service like Avalara. The Aberdeen Group did a study to identify the true cost of compliance, and you can see here for both small and mid-sized businesses just how much it can cost annually to truly be compliant when it comes to sales and use tax. These figures are based on an average salary for the following positions: finance manager, financial controller, and tax manager. We used an average of $50 an hour, so depending on where you are in the country, obviously this can change. As you can see, the costs can really start to add up. So let's talk economic nexus thresholds. This is a requirement to collect and remit sales tax for remote sales or in a state that you do not have a physical presence. And these rules can vary from state to state. Each state has their own threshold obligation. Most states are $100,000 or 200 transactions in a given year. However, each state defines $100,000 in sales very differently. So some are gross sales or total sales, and some are taxable sales. Missouri and Florida are the last states to put in place economic nexus rulings. Missouri has not started to implement that yet, but it is coming in the coming year. So we talked a little bit about economic nexus. Now let's talk about some physical nexus. These questions here are things that are overlooked by many companies. So the biggest one being fulfillment by Amazon. A lot of people don't even think about where their physical property is, and that actually can trigger economic nexus and cause you to have obligations into that state. Nexus laws are often quite complex, and with each state being different, you're going to want to make sure you stay ahead of the game. If you're doing this process manually today, you'll want to review the laws in each state where you are conducting business. If you have established Nexus, you're going to want to check with that state's sales tax laws so you can accurately calculate, file, and remit your sales tax liability. So now let's talk about how the manual process actually can put your business at risk. 43% of audited companies use a filing cabinet or hard storage to collect their exemption certificates. This means that they typically never go back and make sure that these certificates are kept up to date. Having an inaccurate form or a form that's missing information or it has become expired is just as good as not having any certificate at all. If you don't have an accurate, complete form that is up to date, you are liable for the tax of that sale in the event of an audit. I assure you that if you are one of these companies doing this today, you are not the only one. Pretty much the majority of the customers that I'm talking to are doing this type of filing today. Our software is here to help provide audit defense when it comes to certificates. We can improve your customer's experience by making it easy to provide a certificate at the time of sale, so you aren't going back to them months later looking for an updated certificate. We will also alert you when a certificate is coming due, and we will then generate an email request to your customer. And we turn all of that paper into a digital repository, which is easily accessed across the company in the event of an audit. So why do companies outsource their tax compliance? Manual sales tax management is very time consuming and expensive. Even after you spend that time and money, most tax pros believe that auditors will still find an error. So many people are spending big money on compliance, but not actually reducing their risk. I think anyone here can agree that sales tax audits are not fun. Of the audited companies that we surveyed, most companies spend over $50,000 on a typical tax audit. If you think about it, $50,000 per state per year can really add up very fast. Here are some additional facts. The audit look-back period can be anywhere from 3 to 10 years. So any seemingly minor problem can compound over this time period. Even having just a single missing exemption certificate can have a big impact. Dylan's Candy Bar is one of our biggest customers and advocates, and they let us know that every time an auditor came in, they'd have to dedicate 2 employees to this for at least 3 weeks. Their exposure was so high, they just could not afford to not prioritize this. So how do you choose the right tax technology for your business? The good news is that Avalara Sales Tax Suite can help you address each of these sales tax compliance challenges that we've discussed here today. The Avalara Platform provides a cloud-based end-to-end tax compliance solution. We have AvaTax, which has the ability to determine and calculate the sales tax rate in each jurisdiction that you need to be registered in. We have Cert Capture, which manages the exemption certificates. And then because we have all this information in our cloud-based software, we're able to file the returns on your behalf as well. There are several options to assess your compliance risks. We have a basic assessment that you can do online, which is free. It does not show your actual liabilities. We do have a full assessment that you can partake in, and we'll do an in-depth evaluation of your economic and physical nexus. And then you can always obviously talk with your local CPA firm. That cost varies from CPA firm to CPA firm. And we have over 700 pre-built integrations to be able to partner with almost anybody.
All right. Thank you, Desiree. So now we can open it up to questions. If you do have any, you'll notice to the right of the panel, there's a little icon there where you can put the questions in to us, and we will get to them. And it's nice that you both talk about getting rid of ditching the filing cabinets of, just by automation for various sides of the business, yet it's very similar as well. It's a very quiet group today.
I see. It's good that you can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, and I was going to just piggyback off of what you said about that filing cabinet issue. Mm-hmm. Those times are so over, but there's still a lot of businesses utilizing filing cabinets to store their documents in, and any natural disaster can eliminate all that stuff, and you'll be in such a headache or a financial bind trying to get recover all that information and data. So having everything stored into the cloud is a lot more safer and more secure place, and again, you can access that from anywhere. So use that space for something better.
Or not use it at all.
Exactly.
They're heavy, they're metal, they're clunky. Make some space in the office.
Turn it into the workout room.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess that's a quiet group. If you do have any questions, though, or need any additional information, you want to reach out to Yooz or Avalara. Their contact information is, you can see here, email and phone number, as well as their website. So you can reach out to them at any time. Again, this recording will be provided so that you can view it or share with your team afterwards. And thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much, everyone.